Legacy, and welcome back to another episode of Roommates. So, we are getting really close to the end here. I'm sure we're gonna finish it either in this episode or the next episode, so be prepared for that. Yeah. So, before we jump in, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button because that would mean the whole world to me. And afterwards, if you like this video, hit that like button too. Now, let's get in. We are very close to getting what we need for spontaneous. We already have all we need for active. So let's get into this. So we are on week 18. There's nothing here that we really need to do. As I sit in my room, I find myself staring at the ceiling. It's been a good year so far. I've had a lot of fun getting used to college life. Excuse me. I've even gotten together with Isabella. But I think about what I've done this year. I can't help but feel I haven't really made a lot of progress on my greater goals. I mean, I came to college to get away from my surroundings, to get out of my comfort zone. I guess I've done that a bit. I feel like I've gotten more confident, but I still feel so shy. It kind of terrifies me, but I feel like I have to do something big, really get something going. Maybe if I can feel like I've truly left my old life behind, like I'm really ready to claim this new life I'm leading. Nah, let's skip it. No, I just don't think I've got it in me. I've been doing really well so far. I don't need to push myself too far. I think just staying with the people here at Latin House is crazy enough for me. That's right. Oh gosh. I give a stretch after another long day of classes. I'm looking at the stairs, thinking how nice it's going to be back in my room. On my way up, I hear Sally and Isabella arguing. I can't tell what it's about, but I can see Max standing between them. I breathe a sigh of relief. Mom always warned me about bad boys. Once I'm back in my room, I put on some headphones to get back to business. I really hope Isabella and I don't have a fight like that. Well, dang. Alright, Thursday. We're doing... okay. It's still early in the quarter. I'm not sure what to expect from Professor Merriweather. Still, it should at least be entertaining. Alright, if you're in this class, you've probably got the basics down. Which means it's time to start getting serious. Now, normally we do this sort of thing in a lab, but today is special for two reasons. Number one, some brain genius decided to mix glycerin with KMNO4 in the labs, meaning there is now an opportunity for alternate environment learning. Secondly, the morgue is full and my contact is on the cheap. As soon as she says that, one of the professor's TAs walk into the room, pushing a cart with a blanket over it, and a suspiciously body-shaped lump under the blanket. This is a 103 class. I'm sure we're not up to this stuff yet. As soon as I see the look of glee on the professor's face, though, I know we're going to do this. Alright, better question. Who wants to make the first incision? Don't worry, he's dead. He complains very little. Around the room, everyone seems unsure what to do with this. A few hands tentatively go up. Come on. You won't get a chance like this for another 2 or 3 years. Professor Merriweather, are you sure this conforms to regulations? I'm sorry, I thought this was biology. Apparently it's intro to law. Well, as it turns out, I've probably got a degree in that too, so how about you shut up? As a matter of fact, it looks like someone just volunteered to take the first cut. The professor stares at me as the entire rest of the class turns to look at me with a mixture of amusement and horror. I wait a few moments to see if the professor is going to change her mind, but finally I stand up and walk down to the front of the class. Here you go, Captain Rules. How about you choose our lesson plan for today? Pick a spot. We'll examine whatever you cut up. The professor hands me some plastic gloves, which I put on as she stands there staring at me. She then hands me a scalpel, and I look at the body. Luckily, the TA left his face and lower half covered. I walk over to the corpse and try to figure out what I'm going to do. Elbow right in the chest. I take a deep breath and then examine the chest of the cadaver. I'm not sure what area I want to examine. Heart, lungs? He's not getting any deader, kid. Just pick something. Finally, I make a deep incision just below his right lung, pulling the knife around to make a good flap. That's better. All right. Looks like we're looking at the lungs today. Now, the first thing you'll notice is the lack of blood. That's because they drain these things, and because I'm not a complete idiot. The professor looks at me just standing there and makes shooing motions. I slowly return to my seat as Professor Merriweather begins her lecture properly. I can't believe she had me do that. It wasn't my favorite, but it was still a fascinating learning opportunity. Okay. So, we need like less than 20 for spontaneous now, and we have a couple more weeks. So we should be good. We should. So we need Wednesday. So this is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I wonder how Isabella's doing at work. I think I'll check in on her. Of course, it has nothing to do with how hungry I am. I head over to the cafe, opening the door and scanning for Isabella before I take a seat. Oh, hey, good looking. Give me a sec, and I'll bring you over your favorite. Thanks, Isabella. Isabella goes about her tasks, and after a few moments, I'm afraid she's forgotten about me. That's when I notice the door, and Chad walking in. This might be a bad thing. I duck down in my seat a bit. I don't want to cause a scene, and I certainly don't want to antagonize the football player. I'm sure he wouldn't do anything violent, but still, there's no need to cause a ruckus. Besides, if Isabella needs me, I want to be here. Luckily, Isabella doesn't notice him at first and keeps serving other customers. Finally, after a few moments, I hear Chad clearing his throat loudly. Hey, Isabella, I don't get to have a word or nothing? I don't see why you should get a word in. Do you honestly feel like there's something to say? Because I don't particularly. Come on, don't be like that, baby. Look, I'm sorry I screwed up. Doesn't mean we can't have some good times, right? You really think that's all it's going to take? Isabella sets down the tray she was carrying with enough force that the sound echoes through the whole cafe. We're over, you bastard. You had your chance at greatness and you frickin' blew it. Now scuttle off and leave me be. Come on, baby. I'm not the only one missing out. We had some good times, right? I've made some mistakes, sure, but I'm coming to you on my knees here. Oh, are you? Really? Because you look like you're standing perfectly well to me. You don't even have flowers or chocolates or anything. You're not even trying. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad you didn't bring me flowers. I'd hate to think you wasted your money. We done here? Come on, you think you could do better than me? Just forgive me already. As it turns out, yeah, I can do a lot better than you. I could do a crap ton better than you. Chad looks at her confused for a moment, then anger comes over his face. You're already dating someone else? Already? Screw them. Where are they? I'll show them what they get for touching my woman. Oh, we're gonna stay quiet and let Isabella handle it because she is a strong woman who can handle her damn self. I think for a moment about jumping in and sticking up for Isabella, but then I realize I'd just be butting in. This is between Isabella and Chad, and she doesn't need me sticking my nose in. Your woman? Your woman? Oh, what? I was some plastic doll for you to parade out for your friends? This is my car, this is my cell phone, this is my woman? Screw you, you pig-headed asshole. The only person I belong to is me. Chad practically reels from the verbal assault. He staggers back a bit from Isabella's angry stare. I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying, I thought... No, you didn't think. See, if you had a thought ever, even once, you would have been doused because people would have thought a fire was starting. Get out of my store, Chad. I have no use for you. Neither does anyone else. Go hang out with your bros and belch the alphabet. We're done here. Isabella turns and stalks behind the counter. Chad looks stunned and ashamed and just turns to walk out. He catches sight of me as he goes, but after a lecture like that, he can't even muster a sneer. He just leaves quietly. A few minutes later, Isabella comes out of the back and spots me still sitting there. "Oh man, you saw all of that, huh? What an asshole, am I right?" I just smile and nod. "Thanks for not butting in. I hate when people try to fight my fights for me." "Well, you're a very strong woman, Isabella. I knew you'd be fine." "Well, thank you anyway, sweetness. Come see me after my shift and I'll make sure you know how grateful I am. Besides, I've got a lot of stress worked up that I need to get rid of." I blush and nod, smiling at her. Alright, we are back to 100. And then we need to get to week 21. Oh, and we're all good with spontaneous now. Well, just another night at home, hitting the books. So many things to study for. It's a nice change of pace from high school. I crack my knuckles happily as I begin to dive into the notes I took in class today. For a moment, I sigh wistfully. I really should have done something to end the year with a bang, but oh well. At any rate, it's probably going to be a long night. I may as well just catch some sleep. That's right. Okay, we are now on week 20. And just to be sure, 300 spontaneous, got it. And 200 active, got it. We are good to go. Let's start. I snag a good seat, prepared for another class. I sometimes can't believe they still let Professor Task teach here. I guess that's the power of tenure. I wonder what he's going to get into today. "All right, you little money sacks, sit down. Let's get this started." Everyone quiets down, settling in their seats. The professor turns on a projector and starts displaying slides. The slides seem to be displaying a countryside, a few buildings dotted. As he progresses through the slides, we see a bunch of people standing in front of buildings and posing. Professor, are we just looking at your vacation slides?" "What's your point? I am trying to get to a point. If certain noisy know-nothings would stop interrupting me." I sit back in my seat, not believing we're actually looking at a professor's vacation slides. "Ah, here we are. This is the slide that matters." On the projector is a picture of some kind of small green statue. "The fabled jade monkey of Tuskatoon, a small village in western Nigeria. I sought this fabled statue for 6 years before beginning my career here. Unfortunately, just as it was in my grasp, I lost it to a rival hunter." "Oh, what's the point of this, Professor?" "Oh yes, what is the point indeed? The point, my dear, is that I have never given up my search, and now I have located the final piece. I know that one of you has it." The professor points at Roxanne and myself. The rest of the class gasps in surprise. "Why? Whatever do you mean, dear Professor?" "Yeah, what are you talking about?" "Oh, don't play dumb with me. Give up the jade monkey and I won't have to spring the trap I planted on both of your chairs." The professor pulls out a small switch attached to a radio transmitter. I look under my chair and see the dynamite he planted there. What? I don't think this has ever been a thing. Accused Roxanne of holding the monkey. I stand up, pointing my fingers squarely at Roxanne. "I should have known, Roxanne! I should have known! Give it up already!" Roxanne frowns and reaches into her backpack. When her hand comes back, it's holding a small jade statue. "There it is, my pupil. Get the statue and you shall want for nothing." I nod at the professor, glaring at Roxanne. For her part, she just smiles, cocking her hand and waving me on. Oh my god. I jump up, kicking off of my desk so I could fly across the room to where Roxanne is. She blocks my initial punch with a swift motion of her arm. "Wait! That was Crane Meets a Traveler! It can't be! You are from the Death Hand School?" "Of course I am! Did you truly think you had destroyed all of our clan? You don't have the strength. Now, let me show you true kung fu. Oh my god, this is awful. Our fists meet with a thunderclap as we try to move past each other's defense. Her kung fu is strong, but I know that I have righteousness on my side. Suddenly, one of her feet darts out, sweeping my leg. I immediately retreat into a standing crane. Ha! You have left yourself open. Her fist moves faster than I can imagine, hitting 4 pressure points in my chest. You were a worthy opponent, but you have only 4 steps to live. Oh my god, the Kill Bill reference. Professor Task and the rest of the class gasps in pain and sorrow as Roxanne moves 6 steps away from me. I can't let her get away with this. I take 2 steps forward, another with my 4th step. A pain builds in my chest. I can see Roxanne smirking condescendingly at me. With a start, I lift my head off my desk. I can't believe I fell asleep. What the hell was that dream? And that's why you should always be aware of what kind of cheese you're buying in foreign countries. See, I told you I was getting to a point. Eek. That was kind of cringe. I can't believe how busy I've gotten. The year's almost over and I feel like I'm never going to be done studying. I haven't really had a whole lot of time just to hang out with my friends, aside from some drama here and there. Oh well, success is its own reward after all. I head up to my room and close the door. Time to take care of business for a while. Alright, we are good. Now we're on to Friday. Hopefully there's nothing left for this week and we could just get into the last one. Okay, never mind. Back in my room at last. Just as I'm putting my keys on my desk, there's a knock on the door. Anne, you have to help me. They have outwitted me. I stand with my keys in hand, staring at Rakesh. Who's outwitted you? My parents. They're going to be video calling me in 20 minutes. So? So, the letter I wrote them, they're not coming, but they still want to check up on me. You have to help me. I look down at the keys in my hand for a moment before answering. Nope. I'm sorry, Rakesh, but my professor wants me to come down for an immediate conference about my essay for finals. I can't blow this off, Rakesh. You'll be fine. Just tell your parents the truth, okay? Rakesh looks devastated, but he nods and wanders off back to his room. I pick up my house keys and wander back outside. I really don't want to get in the middle of Rakesh's personal problems like this. I didn't have anywhere to go, though. Maybe Carmen's not busy, or I could just go to the library. Eek. Okay, anyways, week 21. We need Monday. Okay, give me a call tomorrow. We could talk a bit more, okay? Sounds great. I think I'm going to see if Isabella wants to go out tonight. Ooh, yeah, I'm so glad you two got together. You're so cute with each other. I blush as I wave goodbye to Carmen. I hope with finals so close we can have a bit of fun tonight. Though I might just try to take some time to make sure my homework is finished. We are, of course, playing the event. I think about dropping my things off, but then I think better of it. I knock on Isabella's door, smiling as she answers. Hey Isabella, want to get some food with me? Hey Anne, yeah, let's blow this place. We head out the door and down to the campus cafe. The meal is pretty good, even if it's not quite as well done as when Isabella's on shift. Thanks for dinner. I'll buy next time. Don't worry about it. The only perk to working here is getting the food on the cheap. So, how are classes? I know finals are a bit close. Oh, I'm doing well. Luckily, none of my professors are out to get me this quarter. The tests have all been pretty easy. That's always good. Are you making much progress on your major? A little. I'm hoping to teach young kids, so I have to take a lot of interdisciplinary studies. It means I'm studying a bunch of different things. Gets confusing sometimes, but back home, it means I'll be able to help fundamentals. Primaria, secundaria, that kind of stuff. You're really looking forward to heading back home, aren't you? Ever get homesick? Not really. I know everyone will be waiting there for me, and while I'm here to live it up, I'm definitely having a lot of fun. Oh, and while I'm here, I get to live it up, sorry. Especially with you, hon. Isabella offers a handout to me. I smile, reaching out to take it. I'd love to see your hometown sometime. I bet it's just lovely. Oh, it is. I could give you a great tour. Maybe even get you into those places they usually keep the gringos out of. It's a fun place. I think you'd like it a lot, Anne. Though some of the folks there aren't exactly the most open-minded. Still, my friends know I'm pansexual. We wouldn't get any grief. It sounds wonderful. We'll have to go sometime. I'd like that. Well, thanks for taking me out, baby. Are you done already? Because if not, I know a club downtown that's having a concert. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe we can dance again? You know it, girl. I'm gonna be all over you on that dance floor. I smile and nod as we collect our things. It's probably about 2 a.m. before we get back to the house, but we had an incredible time out. Oh, that sounds so much fun. I can't believe the year's almost over. Sometimes I regret not throwing something together. Still, no sense worrying about it now. At least instead of worrying about it, I could catch a nap. Nothing beats a nap before a big test. I head back home and decide to lay down. Oh, same girl. Same. Ooh, and guess what? My grades are doing really good this time. Alright, kids, you've got finals next week, so I'm sure you've all got plenty of studying to do. I could try teaching you something that's going to be on the finals, but really, why should I start teaching now? The professor throws a slide on the projector that just says study before walking out of the room. Half the class opens their books and starts studying. The other half starts standing up to pick up their things. Not sure which I should do. Nah, we'll skip. I suppose I really should get some studying done. I don't want to blow my finals after all. This seems like a perfectly quiet place to do it. I break open my book and start writing some notes to take a closer look at later tonight. It's been a long year, but I'm almost to summer. I could take a nice long break. I can take a nice long break and really recharge my batteries to hit the books even harder next year. The next 2 weeks fairly flew by. Between my finals and everyone else's, I've barely got any time to spend with my friends. I put a lot of work into this last final, but it's not really my last one. Sometimes the idea of 3 more years of this seems incredibly daunting. But I know I need my education, so even though there's a lot of hard times ahead, I know the payoff will be worth it in the end. I probably wouldn't even be on campus today if I hadn't needed to sell back some books. As long as I was here, though, I went ahead and printed off my grades for the year. Despite all the craziness this quarter, I've even managed to keep my grades up. It's nice to see all of my hard work paying off in my grades. As I watch the students passing by, I can't help but wonder how many more nice people I could have met this year. I'm glad I've met so many, and I really feel like I've made some progress, but I don't know. It feels like I'm still a little cooped up. Still, it's not like I haven't met anyone new. I just have to try harder in the future. Finally, standing back on the porch of Latin House, I think over all the things I've done this year. Smiling to myself, I open the door and head inside. I drop my things off in my room, wondering what I should pack and what I should leave when I go home this summer. I don't know if I want to leave for summer. I feel like I've finally gotten out of my shell here, especially having Isabella beside me cheering me on. I just feel like I might be taking a step back if I go home. I just don't know. Well, at least I know what I want to do right now. Take a shower. It's not often I get the place to myself. I grab up my towel and shampoo and head off. The water on my head feels fantastic. This building has an incredible water heater. Hot water just lasts forever. I turn the temperature up and just luxuriate under the heat. The air turns steamy as I take my time scrubbing my arms and legs. As I bend over to wash my foot, I scrape at a red spot. Probably just a heat rash. I'll look at it when I get out. Oh, damn girl, you do know how to give a show. Ah! I whip around, hurling my soap at the voice. Isabella dodges easily, laughing as she pushes aside the curtain and steps into the shower. Sorry, hon, I can't help myself watching that incredible body. Finally coming down from my fright, I notice that Isabella is naked too. I didn't know you were home. That just makes it more fun for me to watch. Don't be creepy. Oh, sorry, baby. Come here. Let me make it up to you. Oh boy. Isabella stands under the water with me. Snaking an arm around my waist. I'm sorry I scared you, though I'll admit you're adorable when you get that frightened deer look about you. I blush a bit as I look up into Isabella's face. Sometimes I still can't believe that this incredible, beautiful, lusty lady picked me to be with. She can have her pick of any woman or man on campus, and she chose me. I'm so happy she did, though. Isabella fills a hole in my heart I didn't know I had. As Isabella's face closes on mine, I press my lips into hers. Also, sorry if you can hear the noise in the background. There's work on the roof being done, and it's really loud, and it's been like this for like the past week, and I'm so annoyed. Let's see. As Isabella's face closes on mine, I press my lips into hers. I don't know what kind of journey this wild woman is going to take me on, but I do know there's nobody else I'd rather take the journey with. So yeah, that's the last thing I remember doing my first year of college. It's been years since I thought about my college days. As I look back at the time I spent in Latin House, it was definitely the start of a new chapter for me. The world seemed full of new possibilities, and I think I really wanted to seize all of them. Well, maybe I let some opportunities pass me by. I still feel like I made the most out of those years. I think I'm happiest, though, that I managed to meet all those people and still keep my grades at an acceptable level. I graduated with honors, with a library science degree, and a minor in English. Most people never expected any less, but I'll admit, I had to ignore people pretty badly sometimes to keep myself out of trouble. Whatever did happen to the others? It's hard to remember everybody these days. Let's see. Oh, but I've left out Isabella, haven't I? Isabella worked her ass off, getting her teaching degree. She was definitely in college much longer than any of us. Well, technically not Dominic, but he was already ahead of us when we got there. Ooh. Wait. The sum of the stats associated with this character was below 600. Oh. We stayed together through my college career. I'll admit, I was a bit clingy. She was my first girlfriend and, well, I probably smothered her a bit much. She put up with it though. She was such a sweetheart to take care of me. She even helped me come out to my parents. They had a hard time accepting it, figuring it was a college phase. I tried to keep her near me as I worked at the library. I even got a nearby apartment and asked her to move in with me. That was the last straw though. She knew she was going back to Mexico and she didn't want to make the break any harder than it was going to be. She broke it off quick and clean. I cried for a week straight. Looking back on it, it was for the best. When she finally did go back home, we were able to say goodbye cordially. She still writes every now and then, and I've long since moved on. As for me, well, I learned so much that first year at college, not the least of which was to be myself and not to be so afraid of people. I mean, I don't think I got over myself entirely in that first year. It took me quite some time to really figure out how to be me. I worked at the campus library for a few years after graduating, but when budget cutbacks hit a few years later, I had to get a new job. And like I said, Isabella was leaving at the same time. But yeah, everything else about me, you probably already know. And at any rate, that's good enough for now. I feel like I've been talking about myself for ages. How about you? How was your college experience? Alright. Oh, we are done! Oh my god! I'm stretching. Sorry if I sound weird. Oh my god. Okay, so I was only going to play all of Anne's routes, so that's what I did. This was the ending. So if you want to see like the rest of the game, and like Max and like who he goes with and all of those storylines, please go get this game and play it yourself, because Anne's was the only one that I was gonna do. So yeah, if you liked it, hit the like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe, because I love you guys so much, and subscribing would mean the whole world to me. I'm trying to get to 1,000, so please. Yeah, let's see if there's anything else after this. I don't think there is. Nope. Alright. Okay, bye!